So, despite everything that's going on in the world, Robin Huneke has still managed to keep all of his clients, retain all of his clients, step up his service delivery, and is still plowing forward and in pursuit of more and more clients. Now, Robin is one of my students who's doing around, depends, low months, anywhere from 9, 10, 12,000 a month profit with his agency. He's out actually in Australia. And yeah, there's just certain members of the GrowYourAgency community that are definitely pillars and are definitely leaders. Robin is one of those. He came into six-figure SMA, which is the old version of Agency Incubator, 2 years ago at this point, when he had a very high-paying IT job. He left it, his entire family, all his friends thought he was crazy, and ever since then, he's just been crushing it with SMA. So yeah, with the risk of talking for a little too long, I'm just gonna roll straight into the interview. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another student interview. I am very, very excited for this one. We're here with Robin Huneke, all the way from Australia. And yeah, all I can say is I even found out something just literally right prior to this call. Because I was under the impression you're working with one or two different industries, but you're working with multiple niches, and yet you've managed to retain all of your clients during this whole Corona thing. And not only that, but you just brought on a new $2,500 a month client. But then again, I'm also jumping ship. So do you want to go ahead and tell them a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, yeah, firstly, Iman, thanks for having us. Just part of the student interviews that you have. Yeah, where do I start? Like I was, when I was younger, I thought I'd be a rugby league superstar here in Australia and just playing footy. And yeah, it's funny how things have turned out growing up. And anyway, getting a bit further on, I thought I'd be in the IT game. The universe is whatever told me that, number one, rugby league isn't for me. So I had multiple injuries as I was starting to make my way up through the ranks and specific teams, professional teams. And yeah, didn't work. I went into the tech game because I've always been in and around that space. Then I came across in 2018 a course called Six Figure SMMA. And I was like, at that time I was destined to do something, just do something different, because the group that I was part of was, say, for example, the pond, just wasn't for me. I knew there was more that I can give out to society. So,
and just real quick, from what I can recall in 2018, you obviously you got into Six Figure SMA, but just one thing that I found super interesting. I swear it was like you were coming up to your 5th year in your job, or coming up to some barrier where like you were about to get a huge promotion, and you still
very, very similar. Yeah, no. So it's a long service leave. Yeah. So I was at 8.5 years at this particular company, and I was, it was uncanny because everyone around me, understandably, those closest to me were saying, stick it out for an extra 1.5 years and then get your long service leave, then do something. But I just had it's funny how timing works, because I had just the disdain of working for someone. I always knew I could do a lot more in society, but yeah, it came to a point where your course just literally sat in front of me versus other courses, which, being completely transparent here, I looked at, but I just didn't resonate with. It was to do with either the vagueness of the course, or I just didn't align with the morals or values. And when you spoke about your mother, when you spoke about your family, that sort of hit home. As a Pacific Islander, and I'll touch into this a little bit more, but you speak about your passion project of reforming the education system. I want to do something for my island in the South Pacific called Niue. No one really knows about it. Everyone, talks about Tonga and Samoa, but I'm a Niuean that's, really, really small island. So anyway, back to the point was more, I found your course and I found what you stood for and how your upbringing defined who you were. And I didn't care if you were 15, 16, 8, 100, I don't care what age you are, as long as, you stood for something. And I was like, this is the journey I'm destined to be on. So once I saw your course, handed my notice, I didn't even know what I was going to do. I was just like, I knew that this course had substance to be able to at least elevate me. And not only did I upset my family, upset the people around me, but I just had to dig. And 1.5 years later, here I am, just so fortunate to be running an agency.
That's amazing. Well, well, first of all, thank you so much for that loom to the agency incubator community, and then obviously giving me permission to post that. I know a lot of people found a lot of value from that on my YouTube channel, and I had a lot of requests to actually get you on a student interview. obviously last time we chatted, I think literally a week ago, you're making $10,000 a month, thereabouts. And you said you just brought on another $2,500 a month client. All while this Corona thing was happening. And the first question that I want to ask is, you said it, or off camera, by the way, obviously I know that you're working with around 6-7 clients. You've managed to retain every single one of those clients, and they're not in one industry, they're in multiple different industries, and they're all offline businesses. So some of these businesses legitimately are not operating for the next 2, 3, 4 weeks. No one really knows the time frame. So how do you manage to retain all these clients?
Yeah, so I really do feel it's to do with how I've conducted myself with them. So, really empathizing with them. But I think it's just more, ever since I brought them on board, I said, I've got your back, or, I'm going to do as best I can to promote the business, or at least have the attention on you online. We talk about congruency, right? So they're doing a phenomenal job inside their business. Their word of mouth is so well constructed. These businesses have been operating for so long that, why not showcase that online? But again, it comes down to, and I've also got I've got a mentor very similar to you, or when you were starting up as well, of Bob. My one here is Philemon. So he's always, we butt heads so much, but he's always talking about community. He's always talking about, making sure that you look after the people that, who's basically backed you since day one. So, these guys gave me my start, and I'm forever grateful for them. So I just went above and beyond, and just obviously giving them that start online, but also just going, okay, what else can I do to help out? How else can I serve you? And I think it's quite indicative now, because, when they're pulling back money from other parts of their business, they see that the media or the advertising aspect as, that's that Robin guy who's been from the beginning, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is what's happened. Or if I've lost you.
I think, we cut out for a second. So you were saying, this is that Robin guy?
Oh yeah. So that's that Robin guy who's been able to give us so much value and so much just I guess energy or whatever. That's, I'm going to stick with him. But then it's also being in the front foot and going, hey, this is where we're at. This is the current predicament, and a very clear example of Post and Kellogg's that you had on your video the other day. I gave that exact same example to them. And I said to them, you guys could be the ones who pull back. You guys could be, looking to try and save money, save a bit of coin here or there. But, ultimately the ones who thrive are the ones who not only retain their appearance online or advertising and marketing, but they take it to the next level. They double down, triple down. And just that concept alone just really helped them out. So when we talk about the start of the coronavirus, I was already on the front foot communicating with them, just holding their hand going, hey, everything's going to be okay. This is how we're going to be doing it. Obviously that Loom video that I did to each and every one of my clients with the examples that you gave just reaffirmed that, hey, Robin is he's got our back. They had my back by signing me up when I didn't really have too much experience. And it's now my turn to give back to them. So I'm like, let's go. Let's do whatever we can. So, yeah.
And I know that you've brought on additional responsibilities with no extra fee. Could you touch on that a little more?
Yeah. So number one, with social media management, like my focus here is that whenever they speak, whenever we post out, people listen. So we've had that I think we've shown as example, we've had a gym that was my very first clients back in 2018. He's still on board with me today. And
well, it's almost 2 years.
Yeah. And he was the one he had my back, and we met at a business seminar, but didn't even know each other. We're sitting two seats apart. But on the last day, he was looking for a digital marketing manager. And I happened to have watched your course and learned a few things. And I just said, hey, this is the way that we should do it. This is how we should propose your appearance online. Anyway, the point of that was that he was always like building out his brand, and we were always building out his brand. And whenever we post, people listen. So as we're coming into this stage of basically his gym is shut down now, which sucks, but we've actually transitioned into building an online space for him. So he's now got a group of people who pay him X amount of money per week just to go live, and his community is thriving as well. So not only have we tapped into his actual community of gym goers, but we've got people outside of Melbourne and just in the suburbs or even around Australia tuning in. So to answer your question, not only that, we've done so many other things as well. Email marketing, we've done, we've just basically ramped up our workloads. So if we were doing X amount of work, say for that month, we just said, okay, let's double it. Let's do what we can, get in front of many eyeballs.
That's one thing right there that I love. If I was working with offline business, obviously everyone pretty much knows I work with info product and e-commerce owners. So I guess this whole situation really hasn't hit me hard, hasn't really hit me in any sense, to be honest. But if I was working with a sort of business that you were working on, I love that. I love the fact that you're transitioning and helping them transition to online, and you're doing that for free because, that's the sort of stuff that I charge in my 25,000 pound 2-day training. And I love that you're doing that for free. And one of my buddies actually is helping his yoga, like yoga studio clients do. He's helping them do like Zoom conferences, so people can still do yoga at home, and they can still have their yoga sessions, but they just do it at home instead. And once again, he's not charging for that. He's just that's just coming along with his monthly service. So I love the fact you mentioned that, because especially for a lot of gyms, a lot of studios, that I think that is such a good value proposition, and it's something they should have in their back pocket either way. So I love that you mentioned that.
Appreciate it. Thanks. Yeah.
Now with that new client that you signed, it must have been the past week, right? The $2,500 a month client.
Yeah. Yesterday, actually. Yeah.
Perfect. Congrats. Do they have any sort of queries or concerns with everything that's going on at the moment? I think we're back.
Oh, hey, yeah. Careers concerns. So this company is an IT company, IT-based services company, and so the discussion I had with him beforehand was that we need to emphasize your online presence. You've been so good with word of mouth, and again, we had no idea the coronavirus was going to come around. So at the time, I was just portraying to him that you've done so well offline. Let's start to bring you online. And it wasn't only until at the start of this week when I put out just a free mini video course on social media and how small business owners out there can benefit. That's when he said, okay, mate, I just watched the video. We need to do something here now, because he understood the urgency. Everyone's going to be in front of their computers. Everyone's already in lockdown or going to be in lockdown, and just he saw the opportunity. And thankfully I did put out that Loom video to him as well, because he could rewatch it again and just see the value that back in, when was it, January, we were speaking, that in March, it's a non-negotiable. You're jumping on board. We're onboarding you as well currently. And it's all systems goes. It's pretty cool.
Out of curiosity, because this is something that I think is super important for retention, but I also understand, like, I'm very blessed to work with some really awesome clients that, like, I genuinely, business side, I get along with. How important do you think, how do you juggle the line between professionalism and becoming almost friends with your clients? Because the thing is, and this is only specific, like, I can only speak on what works for me. There is no line. Like there's photos of me like clubbing with my clients. Absolutely. Like I go to dinners with my clients. I go clubbing with my clients. At the end of the day, I always still have my and though I guess one of the reasons I can get away with this is because we get our clients such incredible results. Like if we weren't getting our clients incredible results, but then we were also talking about a lot of personal stuff outside of the business and like building rapport, I think there would just be resentment that we're like even trying 100%. To like have 100%. Conversation outside of business when the business stuff side of things aren't working. Just curious to see, how do you, which kind of way do you waver?
No, absolutely. I just reiterate exactly what you say. Like, so I think in another video that you were saying, which is I reflect in when actually I do the exact same thing up until the sale. Like, I'm making sure that I'm professional, because at the end of the day, the clients need to know that you're going to provide them with a return on investment. It's a no-brainer. That's the transaction that you're going to do. But as soon as I sign them, and again, beforehand, I'd still make sure that in a way that's friendly and presentable. But once we've got them on board, it's like a football team, right? So if you've got someone who's next to you, who's busting themselves just to make sure that you're okay, I'm going to be that guy who's just going to do whatever I can. I'll die for the cause. So very similar to how as soon as they sign on board, I've got their back. It's like, okay, let's go. Let's see what we can do. Let's dance. But also, let's have fun with it as well. I'd send them funny things, and I have conversations that completely not about the business, right? But it's like, it's like, what did we just speak about for the last 30, 40 minutes? Do you know what I mean? But it's that rapport, it's that, but they know that I'm getting the work done. And it just makes it so much easier. And
you can only get away with that. You can only get away with that intimate personal conversation because 100%. You're getting them amazing results.
Correct. Yeah.
Do you think that helps with retention?
Agree. Yeah, absolutely. Because people, and I've always been preaching this, like people do go to businesses to transaction. There's a problem, there's a solution, but also people are starting to look behind the business. They want to know what the other person stands for. So we talk about personal branding, and you say this quite distinctly throughout your content, which is why, again, I resonate with it. But people want to know about the person behind it. People, you might have the same product or service with company A and company B, but if company B, really stands for something, has their morals, their values on point, like you have a lot to do with your family. I'm all about that. Like that for me. Let's go. So, businesses who don't emphasize that personal brand or are finding it hard to put that perspective of them out there, it's people get left behind. And again, I was having a conversation with a past friend or a past client, past friend who doesn't have that oomph or doesn't have that thing about them. And they're struggling at the moment trying to build that now. Where, he has something pretty cool, but he just never really had to go out there and do it. So you can go either way with that. But yeah, sure. Interesting. For sure. Interesting.
Now, how is with everything that's going on in the world, how is your outreach being affected right now? Basically, apart from that, how's your business being affected? Are you going about things? And I know in your outreach, you're coming at it from that angle, but just in general, like what is the way that you operate your agency? Well, what's different at the moment?
Just more or less the amount of focus and work on being able to provide our clients with the top tier service. But if anything, it's our industry is booming at the moment, and it sort of saddens me because there's people out there losing their jobs. Literally, people. On the other day, I saw this whole lineup. We've got something called Centrelink, which is the government funding place, and it was like around the corner. It was so long. So while they're suffering, I'm able to bring on new clients. There's a lot more attention with us. So it's bittersweet, but if anything, like we've been able to, we're constantly growing. It's sad to say, but because they need us, business owners out there understand the importance now with so much happening about the coronavirus. A lot more people are invested in front of the computer, their phones, their mobiles, their tablets. So sad to say, but we're doing really well. We're just kicking goals. Oh, I don't even like saying that. Damn.
Have you had old clients? Have you had a uptake in old outreach that you've done coming back to you now 6 months, 3 months, 2 months later, and being like, "Hey, I think we need your help"?
We've had conversations. So as an example, very clear with that client I just recently signed on board. There's conversations now that's been happening about, okay, so tell me a little bit more about this. What's happening with the online space? So they're coming to me as an authority. And again, it's a good feeling because, you can impact or you can help them out because they're struggling, and it is what it is. But yeah, if anything, there's a lot more conversations I'm having, and I wouldn't be surprised if a lot more of the clients that we bring on board, it happens. But also in saying that, I know that I can improve a lot of my systems and processes, which copy paste agency again would help take me to that next level. But again, I go from my heart. I go from what I feel, and if someone needs a hand, like I'm there. I'll help you out.
Amazing. Good stuff. Well, yeah, I find your case very, very interesting. As I said, you work across off camera. I think we said it was like 6 different types of clients. And
Yeah.
as I said,
Gym. I was going to
yeah,
do.
yeah, go for it. It's what, a gym?
Yeah. Gym, physio, cleaning company. What else? Oh man, I can't even think off the top of my head. Yeah, I've literally gone blank. I've gone blank. But there are multiple facets, multiple industries that I'm looking after. And not just me and my team, that because of, and again, I've got to credit you because of the systems that I put in place. I actually do have time freedom. I have the ability to start work at 12 if I want to, but also understand the importance of habits. So might start earlier, but I've also implemented team members who actually facilitate a lot of the work, again, based on the principles that we find within a 6-figure SMMA, agency Incubator, and copy-paste agency. So.
Amazing. Good stuff. Well, dude, once again, thank you so much for your time and always being a beacon of light in the Grow Agency community.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. And yeah, anything else you need, mate, just let me know.